Talk about an educational World War I game. My challenge to you students is to try and beat this game on only one life, but you can't do it. And so imagine the world leader of a country being killed by someone from another country. That's exactly what happened to start World War I when Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria was shot, and the assassin shot and killed his wife too, so killed him and his wife. And that led to the World War I starting 1914 to 1918. 5 years of war, also known as the Great War, the war to end all wars.
In the aftermath, the crime sends shockwaves throughout the empire. In retaliation, Austria declares war on Serbia. In turn, Serbia calls on its ally Russia to join the fight. Then, Germany offers support to Austria. In just 30 days, the whole of Europe is engaged in what becomes the First World War.
The American Civil War ended in 1865, and leading up into World War I, some of the greatest inventors of the world had begun to put their brains to create some of the scariest new technology that the world had ever seen. And in particular, I'm going to talk about the machine gun, airplanes for military use, tanks, the wristwatch to time and coordinate battles, and many other technologies emerged during this time, and some countries are going to use this technology to try and take land. Now, some of the more famous fighting was done along the French and German border, but Germany was also at war with the entirety of Russia, and Italy and France border was also a huge hotspot. Most famously along the French and German border in a place called No Man's Land. And the militaries grew to these epic sizes that the world had never seen before. And to give you an idea of how big these militaries were, currently the United States military is 1.3 million, and China has the largest army in the world, about 2 million people. And back in World War I, Russia had a 6 million man army, Germany had a 5 million man army, France had a 4 million man army. And I should note that Russia was actually allowing women to fight in World War I, something the United States didn't allow until 2011. And they dug these giant trenches for miles and miles from Arizona to California. And troops gathered along these trenches and dug in and fought for 5 years. And to try and exploit the troops inside the trenches, they came up with some of the most ferocious artillery weaponry that the world has ever seen. And so they're launching shells into the trenches. And this also created an area in front of the trenches and in between the German trenches and the French trenches called No Man's Land, because no man could survive going up and try and make it across to another trench. They said it was almost impossible. I didn't mention Wonder Woman, who, in case you didn't miss that in that movie, she actually ran through No Man's Land. I got some suggested activities for you, and 3 of them are movies. I highly suggest watching the movie 1917. It just came out in the movies this year. It's set on the British side.
Mike, pick a man, bring your kit.
I hoped today might be a good day. Hope is a dangerous thing.
You have a brother in the 2nd Battalion.
Yes, sir.
They're walking into a trap. Your orders are to deliver a message, calling off tomorrow morning's attack. If you fail, it's okay.
Let's talk about this for a minute. Why? We've got orders to cross here.
That is the German front line.
If we're not clever about this, no one will get to your brother. I will.
1917 is a great movie that accurately depicts a lot of things that happened in World War I. And another good movie talks about the use of animals in World War I to deliver supplies and help in the fighting. It's called War Horse. It is on Netflix. You can check that out. And third movie, of course, Wonder Woman. With the knowledge that you know now, check it out. And last, I have a video game called Warfare 1917. Has a lot of good details about World War I. You can play it on Armor Games, Crazy Games, or Poke. I'm going to do a new campaign. And like I said, go ahead and read all the little details here to the trenches. It's got a lot of little bits of information about soldiers, like giving them a little shot of rum before they went up to go fight. And so good luck to you. Just send your troops in, and there's the bad guys coming for you. Impossible to beat on one life.